somewhere in my electrical area here, gotta find what I did with it. What did I do with my spur went? Huh. Good for that. Ground, another ground in here. Well, with that, you know what's coming. Got another video for you guys today. This one, we're prepping for Hot Rod Power Tour again. Another one coming for Power Tour, getting ready for stuff. Yep, we're working on the Impala. Doing something I wanted to do for quite some time. Never really got around to it, but I need to now. Have passengers going to be riding with me, so we got to get some stuff done. And as you guys might notice, I've been, I don't know, putting all my random junk up on shelves and remodeling the garage, if you will, and kind of got scatterbrained, as you've seen from the beginning of this. This is kind of my electrical area over here, and well, I was digging through finding what I needed for this video today. What is that video? Oh, I'm glad you asked. Let's get into it. Back in 1994, 5, 6, or whatever, you used to have more sedans, more so than the good old SUVs, trucks that are kind of taking over, whatever those things are. You had sedans, 4-door. And the luxury of riding in the back of a sedan was mainly for a family. When you're back here, it's actually pretty damn comfortable, if I'm not lying. But even with, you know, the good amenities, we're missing, you know, a little bit of an armrest here. Got pocket, put your book, maybe play your Game Boy, Game Gear like I had. But nowadays we are missing some convenience center things right here. And one being cup holders. That ain't gonna happen today. But two is the thing that is gonna happen today, is I want to install a USB port back here. Because, as you know, most mobile things, you know, phones and whatever, they all need something to plug into, and they're all going to USB. And you might be asking, well, why don't you just install it in the front right there on that? Don't mind my gaps in the DM, I'm working on that still. But reason because that up front, I got one of these converter things. You plug it in. It's kind of janky, it's loose, whatever. It'll work in a pinch. I also have this one, which just works really well. This is actually for my cube finger jump box that I got. So I'll just use that one for the front. Well, problem we're gonna have is what happens if you got passengers. You got one over here and you got some in the back. That's where today's video is coming in. First and foremost, I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, it's one of those little screw into the thing, doodabbers, charging port, USB holders, and it's got the A, B, and C charging ports in there, on, off. I got one of these in the Trailblazer. Actually got one in Burt too, and works really well. So I got that. Next I got this. This is just a USB, plug your USBs in there, kind of cord dangle out thing. Inverter. Have these in the Trailblazer. Got them up in the front so I can plug in dash cams or phone or whatever I want. But it goes up towards the ceiling inside of the way. But got this as well. So what I'm thinking I want to do is I want to put this either in the back in that column, like I've been wanting to do for years and why I've had it now for a couple years. And put this spare in the front. Also want to do it on a couple of quick connect fittings, like so that way I can either plug something else into it or whatever, remove it, it's out of the way. But I want to have it for this trip because we're all going to have phones with us. I'm going to have two. One I'm recording on, which is my main phone. Secondary one, which is probably going to be in the class, maybe doing some stuff. I don't know. Either way, I need to have charging port access, so we got to get these installed. So let's stop blabbing and get into it. So we're going to start by throwing all the junk onto the passenger seat, emptying out our center console because it's just full of stuff. Hey, zip ties. Hey, got a drill bit in there. What else we got in there? Oh, what's this? Oh, got a flasher. Got the foam thing. Pen and more zip ties and some screws and a razor blade. Huh. So anyway, we're going to start by cleaning all this out. Cleaning all that out. There's a couple jobbers down there that got to get removed. And then I think there's one up here, two of them up there that got to get removed. Then we're going to pull this center console out, which if you had a 96, you're going to have a shifter here. And you got to pop the little thing off, pop the thing up with the thing, and then bolt plate, and then pop it up, which, yeah. We don't have that because we have cup holders. So we're going to just, do it the easy way. So I'm going to get all this stuff popped out and then zipped off. So I suppose I can use my camera mount to show you everything. Looks like we got two 10 mils up here, and it's supposed to be, like I mentioned, two 10 mils up here. But there's one because I think someone had this out at some point. I don't remember if it was me or not, but anyways, let's get it taken care of and zipped out. So I always like to start with the 10 mil in case it's what it is. But I always have a 3/8 with me because you never know. This one you need 50 extensions and a deep well to get down there. Front one, you need just a deep well. If you're lucky. Yep. Take all those out of the way. Take those out of the way. And then you should be able to just, lift it right up. Whoa! That was random. Got some pens that fell out. Shade Tree Mechanic. Never taken anything there again. What else do we got in here? Come on. You coming up? Oh, there's more pens over here. How many pens are in here? Medium Integra? I don't know. My Bond home inspection. Okay. Someone just keep pens in there for random events or what? So, since the carpet's hermetically sealed to the front, probably from all those coffee stains, pop it out. Then, once you get it out, you can go ahead and just lift it out. And then you got full access to your console. What other goodies do we have? More frickin' pens. Blue one, Sharpie, zip ties. Wow, sorts of goodies. Huh, cool. Okay, let's move on to our next step. So now that we got the console out of the car, looking it over, that's a random hole that I didn't know existed. Interesting. Kind of dirty. Clean it up better. Yeah. Had some coffee stains on one of these sides that I used some of that carpet cleaner stuff on and got it all done. But, not talking about cleaning. So as I was mentioning, I want to put this one back here, centered up, put it into place. And some of you might be wondering, well, how are you going to do that with, you know, the space, and then you got, you know, the inches and whatever. Well, flip it over. Look, we got plenty of space. Plenty of space to do that. It's going to go in here, and we're good. See? Ready? Look. Plenty of space. Plenty of space. Drop it in there. So, second thing, I decided with this one, since it's here and that hole is there, I'm just going to make it so the hole fits in there a little bit better. And we're going to take this thing and we're just going to mount it somewhere in here, up out of the way, and we'll wire the two together and put a little quick connect in here, so if we ever pull it apart, we can. But they are tied together, and then we'll run these two through there. That way, when we're sitting in the front of the car, they should essentially just be sticking out here, and we'll be able to plug our phones in or whatever we got to plug in. So, done deal. Let's get her done. Let's see what we want to do first. So first thing you probably should do if you want it to be centered is measure from here to here, here to here. You know, find the center mark and put it there. I'm just going to eyeball it where I think it'll look good. Because, you know, that's what I got. Start with this drill. And we'll work to a step bit. We'll just, here, there, I don't know, right there. Oh, we're into plastic. There we go. A little crooked. Oh well. Next step, let's move on to this one. And you want to make sure to have the thing handy. Looks like we're going to go pretty much all of it. If you really want to test it, you take the little ring off and see where you go. About right there. What is that? I don't know. What size is that? Would you just get on there already? You were just on there. One and... I don't know. Whatever. You guys can read it. So let's zip that in there. All right. Can you see it? Can you see it, or you want me to go like this side? I'll go this side so you guys can see it better. Seems to be melting. How dare you do that to an Impala? How dare thy? Well, I did it, okay? Yeah, looks big enough. Never heard that before in my life. Anyway. Oh, are you going to fit in there? Pretty. Pretty close. Go just a little bit more. Seems all gummed up. Is all of it good enough? Probably not. Upside down here. Oh, look at that. What you talking about, Willis? Okay, before I forget, since it's going to be down here and I can't see it, the polarity on these, you got this side which is negatory, you got this side which is pository. So, just remind me of that. So, upside down, there, we got our little ring-a-ding-a-ding, ding, ding, ding. Come on. Come on. Are you really that difficult to screw in here? Jeez. Crunching sounds, it hurts my fingertips. Alright then. Look, that, oh, it's upside down. Look, it's perfect. Is you want USBs? You got the USBs. You want to turn them on and off? You turn them on and off. Simple as that. Saugatuck Brewery. It's coffee. If you guys haven't been, go check them out. Now what are we doing? Procrastinating? Probably. Anyways, what we gotta do now is we gotta, once we got our drill out, probably drill out this hole big enough so the other ports that I lost will fit in there. Yeah, that's our next step. Okay, now we're flipped over. We're gonna dive into gouging out this little hole a little bit more. I said bug fly my nose. Oh. Anyways, don't need much. Just enough to get those USB ports through. Is that going to be enough? Is that going to be enough to widen it out? Did it work? No. I'll just a touch more, not much, because it's in there. And I want them just tightly through there so they don't go popping back in. We do have something for that, though. That might be too much. You see it come through? Came through. Came through. Came through. So now we're through. Do you get what I'm saying now? So then these are USBs, you plug into stuff, and then but they're just dangling right here. So, Harbor Freight sells these nice assortments of rubber grommets. Got one here. We're going to go ahead and put it over this USB. We're going to go ahead and put it over this USB as well. Like so. Then we're going to asphyxiate the rubber grommet into that hole we just drilled. Just to make things a little bit more copacetic. Brighter. Better. Gooder? Sure. Well, what's going on here? Alright. Let me get this in and I'll show you. Now that rubber grommet's in place, these won't fall off even if you give them a little tug that way. So, good there. Now we gotta flip it over. We gotta mount up our box and then wire the two together. So for mounting purposes, I think about right there is going to be good. I'm just going to go ahead and use some double-sided tape. Mainly because, well, I don't feel like drilling any holes in the side panel because it's pretty thin plastic. B, if I ever decide I want to remove this, you know, can remove it. And most important reason why, because I'm lazy. I know, shocker. Shocker. Just go something like that. That ain't going nowhere. Well, some of you might know. I like to wire things up. Kind of a wire nerd. And whenever at all possible, I like to use the factory provided electrical things that are provided by, you know, company or whatever. In this case, this just so happens to be the harness that came with that rear inverter thing. Well, we're not going to use it from here. Because why? I'm going to cut it. And we're going to make our own. Because we got to splice in that one. I am going to keep this fuse relatively available. Haven't decided if I want to use it or not yet. But if I do, it's going to be right there. I'm going to snip it here in case I got to cut it and reuse it later. Give me some space. And we will go ahead and strip these down. What do we say the negative one was? Bronze, brass looking, colored. All right, well, we'll slide those over. And we'll put the black one on the brass, and then we'll put the other one on the other one. Suppose I could have ran these through that hole first and then screwed it down. If I was really in a pinch. It's not that bad. Okay. Factory install. Next, what I think I want to do is make sure this wire is affixed through here and runs through here. Because on our car, now let me rethink that. Be right back. Upon reevaluating, I was going to run that wire so it would have been seated between these two, but it's going to look pinched even with that on there and those things right there. You can see it's going to, potential is it's going to get pinched right there. So we need to run it off to one of the sides, probably the side that the inverter's on, and then we'll be nice and tucked up out of the way and we won't even have to worry about it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to maybe just find something. I don't know if I want to drill a hole through there, and then we're kind of through here, and then we can just do our wiring here, because we're going to have to obviously extend it and then tie into that and then go to the front. But I think that's probably going to be the cleanest, is to through there. So I did go ahead and solder on some leads, black one and red one. Drilled holes through here, so this wire's in there. It's good. Now we're going to go ahead and heat shrink these two up. Probably put a red one on there. Tube stuff I got is, you know, I don't know. Bought it at some place downstate. Let's make sure these wires are the same for right now. Like that. This one will go on to the red, like so. Come on now. If you ever have an issue with an end too, you can always finesse it with a little bit of crimping. And make sure that that cover slides all the way over like that. Take your heat gun and heat them up. So now that we got the wires to this general area over here, I have these quick connectors. Do that. That we are going to fix one side onto here. The other side will be in the car. That way, if we go to take this off, we can just unplug this and not have to snip wires and recut them and all that. You always want to make sure, though, your gauge or your wire, when you're running through these connectors, is the same size or smaller. You don't want to go bigger, obviously. And it doesn't matter which end goes where. They can go wherever. I find it's better to put the female end onto the car. That's not the car. The car, the male end onto whatever you're pulling in and out. Kind of like what GM does. Wire harness to here, and then this is on the motor, and then, you know. So this one will go in the car. It's in the car now. And we're going to connect, obviously, our red to red to red, black to black to black. And then should be already ready to reinstall in there. Okay, there it is. All through there. Double-sided tape to hold it up here again. Our harness to plug it in. And we're good. Now we're on to finding a power source in the car. Wiring up that other end. Put a console back in, and we're ready to rock. So you got to ask yourself when you're in the car, when you're doing something like this, wiring wise, why? You know, why are you installing something like this? Is it to have power all the time, power another time? What do you want it to do? Come on and off with the car? So at this point, you got to ask yourself if you want it consistently on or not. Considering the cigarette lighter is consistently on with the car off, I think I want to just have a continuous power source, just like that. I know that one thing's got a little LED on it when it's on. We could make it ignition, but I'm not going to. So now it's finding a power source. So what do I want to do for a power source? I don't know. Let's look. Could very well just run a wire up and tap it into the cigarette lighter because it's already positive. Could run a wire up and through and underneath and over to our fuse panel over here and find something that's hanging out over here. That'd be good. Yeah, I don't know. I think I want to, at this point, try and just tap into that cigarette lighter under the dash. It'll be the cleanest. So we got to drag a wire from here underneath the carpet and up. And then we got to figure out a ground, which I think I'll just put a self-tapper in right here, and that'll be a perfect ground. So our ground doesn't have to be super long because our harness will be somewhere over here. And then we'll just have to get a positive underneath there, and it should be good. Well, got lazy. Decided I'm going to find a home in there for it because I don't feel like ripping the dash apart. Fish this wire through under the dash, behind some wires up there for right now. And I got it taped off right now to this brake line that I crammed into the hole. There he is. And I pull this back now. We're going to fish the wire with it. So I'm going to fish that through and hopefully have some success. But I'm going to use two hands and lift that up so I don't lose the wire halfway in there. Success. I originally planned just to leave that brake line in there and run that wire through it, but it was too big of a wire. But we're in there. I'm going to tuck that in there and get it cleaned up with some zip ties so my foot don't hit it. Get all that stuff lifted up because that seems to be excessively low for whatever reason. And we'll finish wiring this up. Okay, self-tapper is in. Power's hooked up. Got our connector here just loose. Got some extra cable, need be. We'll go ahead and put that fuse on there so we know if we have an issue, we can just, it'll pop there. Now I got to find some power out of one of these, grab the multimeter and find a good one, and then tuck our wires in, put the console back in, see if this thing works. All right, it's in there. It's all cleaned up. We're in the back here. Turn it on. Yeah, buddy, we got power. So let's see. Plug that thing in. Plug this thing in. Let's jump pack. See what that does. All right. Sorry, I took 2 hands there. But jump pack, she's charging. So rear one is working. Turn it off. Shuts off. Perfect. Got a little cover for it. Let's go check out the front ones. All right. Moment of truth. Oh yeah, that one's working. What do we got for this one? Boom, perfect. So we got both of them working. They're working as intended. Ooh, got a big glare going on in here. So that's gonna do it for this one. Installing some USB power outlets in the center console of the Impala, getting it ready for Hot Rod Power Tour. So my back passenger is gonna have places to plug in their phones, chargers, whatever they gotta plug in. They'll have plenty of space and power to do it. So until next time, thanks everyone for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, comment below. We'll see you next time. Thanks.